How y'all doing today on this lovely evening? It is February 1st, 9:19 right now, and I'm doing my fourth episode of Downloadable Brain, where we love the sound of our voice a little less each day, but everybody loves to talk so much that we just can't help but chime in. Let's get into it. Today I'm going to talk about energy, screaming politicians, and a society of wild animals. Talking about me doesn't mean you have access to my energy. The more you choose to use me as a topic of discussion, if that's what you're having to do, it simply tells and shows people I am a person who is not capable of original thought, and I'm not able to manifest and use my own thoughts to create success. This still locks your aura towards the culprit, leaving them depleted, defeated, and confused because we are not exactly responding directly, but we are hip to the narrative. As always, I lock my aura, and may your energetic field be fully depleted if it comes at the expense of me being discussed. When we release our ideas and creativity to the world, it's one of a kind. People can discuss it, but if they sound emotional and we're acting out of character, the answer is it's them who's doing it, not us. And if we did do those things, we would discuss the culprits directly and become angry or bitter towards their narcissism. I completed all 5 dance party games today on the Xbox, but I'm actually not a dancer at all in real life. I do not worship the Lord of the Dance, nor do I worship idols in any shape or form in the 3D. It's to my understanding as well that even some of the Buddhist people do not look at Buddha directly as an idol, but they view Buddha as a source of inspiration, using the Buddha's teachings to get rid of suffering. The greatest form of suffering we can experience is the emotions within ourselves, but we cannot always control the way people view or talk about us. That is okay, because as long as we are focused on ourselves, learning how to grow, and being able to forgive others, we can often go to a higher level of self. Being able to forgive others when they go as far as to cross a line in the sand and overstep your boundaries is important. It's a test, but here's what people fail to see or understand. People can make solid attempts to get you to react to them or become emotional towards their actions or behaviors. But if you are at all a spiritual person or somebody tuned into your higher consciousness, what it is you choose to do with your time is actually way more about a test within yourself. Most people are failing their own tests. So how do we master our own test? I can give it my best shot to help you out if you're interested in hearing the answer. In order to achieve true mastery within the spirit and be at whole with yourself, in order to love yourself and accept the world as is, and be willing to work towards your own forms of success, you have to forget about other people. You cannot be in a mindset of, I need to be better than this person. Some kids grow up saying, I really want to become a rock star, or I really want to become a scientist, but they never end up studying science, or they never practice a musical instrument or learn how to play. So we are at war with our own egos. We often feel that regarding other people and how we stack up to them matters when it doesn't. If we have to tell ourselves, well, of course I'm better than this person. Look at how much more support I have and how much more love I'm getting from my audience. That's a temporary jolt of dopamine to the brain, validating your actions and choices, but as a result of your own hard work and negativity, or is it something else? If it's something else, maybe you need to do some self-reflecting. Answer that question, and you'll truly be able to become a master of your own skills, desires, and blessings. So how about that? I'm not the scientist I wanted to become when I was a boy because I never did well in science school, and I never cared to explore science beyond my setbacks in the school system. That's okay. Where somebody has weakness in certain areas makes up for strength in other areas. We are all designed to have different strengths and different weaknesses, but I'm not saying it's impossible for people to follow their heart and achieve their dreams. All I'm saying is we cannot become those who we look up to. So when I look at the teachings of Buddha, I understand I can never become the Buddha. But I am also so intrigued and fascinated by the Buddhist teachings, which is a beautiful life and way to live, that I really do aspire to live a similar way. I am not a full-on Buddhist, and I probably never will do a full-on conversion towards the lifestyle. But if I can take the teachings of Buddha and apply them towards my own life, I just know I'll be living a life of inner peace and well off towards a life of Zen, despite what anybody says or does around me, despite what people say on whatever platform it is you're listening on, or how they choose to react. We are not going by what a crowd says. We are going by a different philosophy of life, a mindset that teaches you can achieve true inner peace, liberation, and freedom by freeing yourself from the things you cannot change, control, or manipulate. If a criminal or a thief straight up meddles in your affairs, then that may not even be something you can change. It would be up to a law official to do their job, because not all of us can become law officials, right? When law officials get into their field of work, they take an oath. The oath to uphold the law, protect citizens who need protection, and maintain law and order in a world where a lot of criminals are running around doing bad things. It is human nature to sin, but not acceptable to break the law. That is why we have law officials, and that is why we have constitutional or charter rights. Without those constitutional rights, the world would be filled with wild animals and people who no longer behave like humans. Because if we could justify a system where anybody can get away with doing whatever they want, even if they hurt people or steal from them in the process, we would basically become full-blown anarchists. Is that the world you want to see living in? Is that what you want for the next generation? No, it is not. So it's a good thing I never became a law official. I never had the skills to do the job, but I see and understand a criminal when I see one. So we are blessed to have good people involved in the law system, in the courts, in the police, because they need to create balance and order in a world where justice sometimes requires swift action. Without justice, the world would be in shambles, but let's move on. I am energetic with my thoughts and ideas, but my ideas are not meant to be abused, only to help or inspire people who need to hear the message. If it helps them, I'm glad, but if they become selfish about the help, they fail to see the big picture. They are still very much at war with themselves and their own ego. They fail to see that their own ideas would manifest their own form of success, and they would rather be a follower than a leader, which is okay. Not all of us were meant to become leaders. Some people just get by being told what to do. It takes a lot of courage, wisdom, ethical morals to become a leader. If we lack morals, ethics, courage, and wisdom, we may step into an important position, but we become very poor leaders, leading lost souls in the wrong direction. Rather than showing people how to become better and better themselves, where the world needs improvement, we lead them astray and we create destructive patterns. To spew negativity and teach hate is to create destruction for the leader who leads the company, the communities who rely on it, and the employees who are paid to work for them, and society in its entirety. If people see me doing something and they feel I am unqualified to do the job, that's their opinion. I'm not a know-it-all and I don't have all the answers. If you can find me a person who is a self-proclaimed know-it-all and they get a job over somebody who would be a better candidate, I'm not jealous or bitter about it because I was never in competition with the other person. Maybe the HR manager was a snake oil salesman and they were just as toxic as the job applicant. Like I said, I don't have all the answers. But how do we choose to use our talents and skills as well as choose to lead people or influence them? It's the differential between creating a society of positive change versus a society of chaos, destruction, and anger. If you can find me a lot of happy people anywhere in the world within a community or a specific country, sometimes it's not about monetary gains or achievements. It's about having a sense of belonging in a family and community where you feel loved and you can love them back unconditionally. And when we love people and we take care of people within our social circles, we ensure that they are well taken care of because we want to sincerely help them. So we encourage them. If we have more than what they have, we give back to them. If we have something they are lacking, whether it is a spiritual awakening or actual money, we use our skills and resources to help out those within our social circle because we believe in doing good with the power we were given. Not everybody does, but that's the difference between a group of politicians screaming at each other frantically inside a giant banquet hall and a group of regular people who live in a village or something like some poor country. And they're not in competition with the screaming politicians, and the screaming politicians aren't deciding what they do. They just live their lives and help people out. Some of the poorest people in the world may be lacking something a wealthy person has, and they are still happier because they mastered something within the soul a wealthy person hasn't yet mastered. Do we help the wealthy person master it and awaken? It's up to the listener. I will just end it at that.